Welcome to another edition of Encyclopedic Mind, where I spit ad hoc off the top of dome about random topics. I don't decide until the last minute what I'm going to talk about. So, until further ado, here we go. I've been meaning to think about botany, but I don't know if I should talk about botany today or another weird subject topic. Mechanical, yeah, I mean, civil engineering, yeah, why not? Or some weird shit like that. It's 4:50 a.m. 4/12/2020, April 12, 2020. Um, I think if you haven't filed your taxes, you do so that you can get your stimulus check for Americans. Because I know we broadcast worldwide, even to Swaziland, to those Kunu villages in South Africa, in Transkei, in Transvaal. I don't know why I had to put that. Shout out to all my Kunu friends in Transkei and all my homies at Lesotho, at Nigeria, at fucking Belarus. Shout out to my Peruvian friends and Chilean. Yeah, no one's listening. I only get like zero, like, I get negative views. People actually fucking complain to fucking shut this shit down. Anyway, so yeah, well, botany or I'm civil engineering. I don't even know what to talk about. I mean, like, what else? Um, I don't know. Fucking weird shits like insects. I already did one. U.S. history. U.S. history. I can ramble on for a long time. I think. Let's do U.S. history, shall we? Okay, let's do U.S. history. So there was Shays Rebellion. For some reason, that is the one that pops up right off the bat. Anyways, we had our well. It started off with how back you wanna go? Rewind the clock when Gotham was no. So well, okay. So Leif Erikson came, right? The Vikings and everything. I mean, he was the first. Well, actually, I mean, if we must be completely honest, the Native Americans, they're the first. I mean, they are this their country, and they're so. I mean, and the Bering Strait, was it the Bering Strait, the Ice Age and everything, the via Alaska and everything, they came here. The Bering Strait when it was connected. So, anyways, I mean, if you want to go back all the way to Africa where the people originated and then they moved and they spread out and they came to America. So yeah, we have our Native Americans, and then we have Leif Erikson. We have Columbus. No, was Columbus? What about Vespucci? America Vespucci. I mean, after all, America is named after Amerigo Vespucci, right? And so I think he came before Columbus, and then 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So we have that, and then we have Magna Carta, Plymouth Rock, Pilgrims, Thanksgiving, John, what's his name? You know the guy with Pocahontas, John something, right? What's his name? John, whatever. And then we got John Brown, the Zealous, but that didn't come later on during the Revolutionary. Was it Revolutionary War or the Civil War? I always got confused with my Revolutionary Wars with Civil War. I mean, cause why did American Revolution? Oh, that's the French and Indian War, right? That's why. That's what led up to, I guess, the American Revolution. And then there was the Stamp Act and Boston Tea Party. So, so those are the yeah. So Christopher Columbus came, and Virginia, Massachusetts, Plymouth Rock, the 13 original colonies, Senator Cincinnatus. Well, Cincinnati named after Senator Cincinnatus. I don't know why I had to put that random thing in, and then now I'm gonna talk about Indy 500 racing. What the fuck? So whatever. And what about Plymouth Rock was a place where they landed, right? And the Cortez, like that was later on, like it's like 1600s when Cortez came to like fucking, was it Cortez in Florida? Ponce de Leon, I think Ponce de Leon. But so you have our explorers, coming into the eastern side, and then you got your Oregon Trail and Mason Dixon line, but those are like later on. Well, probably I think 1800s or something. the westward expansion. But even before that, we have our declaration. Well, we have the Magna Carta, and what about those ships? Those ships. Fuck, I forgot the name of the ships. Mayflower Compact. Yeah, so that's even before Magna Carta. Or did Magna Carta precede Mayflower Complex? Mayflower Compact. Because we have what about those ships though? Those three ships. Was it Mayflower? I mean, there were three ships. I forgot the name. Anyway, so we got that, and somehow these people, this they come here and I mean, yeah, that's my American history. Yeah, that's what do you know about American history? Yeah. So we have that, and I mean, even before 1776, the American Revolution was fought, and before that, and then Federalist Papers and Federalist Papers and John Hancock and all, and then we got your Continental Congress. Is that what? Is that it? Yeah, Maryland, Delaware, those parts, and then they're doing the rough drafts like a Constitution, like Federalist Papers, and scrawling here and there, and and you got your colonies, Virginia, Jamestown. Yeah, that's another biggie. Is it? Yeah. So which state did the, the colonists like come, like Jamestown or was it Plymouth Rock? Cause you and then you got your like those was it the Puritans who came here? Remember the bakery? We have like a truck that delivers bakery food, and they have the Puritan lady like with the hat and everything. For some reason, I had to put that in. So I mean, yeah, so they're dressed in those bonnets and those fucking yeah, like you know how they're dressed with those like black dress. I don't know why they have to be black. So anyway, so there was George Washington. Well, even before George Washington, who were the other vatos, the OGs. I mean, so somehow George Washington became the president, and that was the birth of the nation, 1776. But cause and there was slavery was I guess did this start right off the bat, bringing slaves from West Africa, or that didn't start like much until much later? It's funny we have the greatest morals. I mean, this greatest sort of trumpeting of ideals and spouting and pouting and like fucking chest beating and whatnot. Hey, and especially the patriots, like this. I mean, I hate to bash on the Trump supporters, but you get your Christian evangelical Republican right, people on the right, and I'm not bashing them, but they brag about patriotism. And fuck you, we fucking this whole country was fucking built on fucking slaves, you fucking assholes. I mean, yeah, we talk about we people tear up, fucking listen to well, Gettysburg Address is different, but fucking people tear up and shit. But fucking, here we at one hand we are bragging about free speech, free rights, like the Constitution was built on that. But at the same time, we're using all the slaves. I mean, and just because it was accepted the norm doesn't then you don't get a free pass, you fucking idiot. I mean, it's like you're a blasphemy, you're treason, fucking Benedict Arnold and whatnot. If you just even question the fact that here we're these white folks, fucking rich white, like fucking old folks, and somehow we should like join in their smallest violin and cry them a river about how the plight and what fucking not. But it was fucking built on slaves and whatnot, and they massacred the Indians and whatnot. Well, they didn't massacre. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I didn't delve deep into that aspect. Like, were they slaughtered or for instance, even Indians were not no, yeah, they're not spared either. Even the Indians were not like when well they talk about savages, but I mean again, it's not. I'm not saying like well, I mean, they've been labeled savages, but I mean, some of the aspects, like the Iroquois, or like, cause how we say scalp under the bill, they literally used to like cut off the hair, like those, like because they had the buns, and they used to cut the hair or something, or even I don't think they used to behead them. So that's where the term originated. And humanity, black, white, Indians, whatever. People have evil in every culture, even if they're so shamanic priest like fucking Native American who are like smoking peyote and like doing Castaneda, Carlos Castaneda type. I mean, still, everyone has like evil spirit and evil energy, like dark energy within. So, I mean, it's not like they get a free pass either. But anyway, so going back to Jamestown, Plymouth Rock, Benedict Arnold, 1776. So we are founding our country and colony, and and what was it? Tobacco. They brought tobacco. And there's, I think, potato was potato. I don't know for potato. I know tobacco was big, and what else? So somehow, and the Stamp Act and the, was it salt? No, salt, tea, sugar act, the Shays Rebellion. All these happened somewhere, somewhen. I don't know the exact dates. And after the birth of the nation, I mean, who are the biggies? Who is Alexander Hamilton actually? I mean, is his photo picture in any of the Alexander Hamilton's on any of the banknotes? I don't know. I mean, I can, okay. Will U.S. politics? I mean, U.S. history is. I don't wanna. Okay, so and then Gettysburg Address happened, and the American Civil War, and then American Revolutionary War happened. What was that based on? Revolutionary War, Battle of Bunker Hill, and the cried hard around the world or whatever. Battle of, was it breaches? Not onto the breaches. What am I? Battle of, Bunker Hill, and there was another one, something B, Battle of. Anyway, so that happened, and then okay, let's go to American, Civil War, because that's more tangible, I guess, for some reason. The Fort Ticonderoga, and then fucking Fort there was Valley Forge, and then there was Washington crossing the Delaware River. The cherry tree is probably apocryphal, cutting down a cherry tree. I read in a children's book, and this like really basic children's book, how Washington was so strong he could bend horseshoe. Anyway, and we got your Thomas Jefferson. Apparently he invented the Monticello, sage of Monticello. He invented this walking stick that could be converted into a collapsible chair. I don't know how true that is, and how he had his bed. Like he like, I don't know. He was architecture of his house at Monticello, and the way, like, either side you can get off bed. I don't know, some weird thing like that. I think there's, I don't know. I'm not saying he had a secret chambers. I'm not like spouting, touting Illuminati shit and everything. Fucking Inuit Coptus, the Eye of the Horrors and whatnot. But yeah. So we have the Civil War, and what was the first battle? First battle, not Fort Knox. I don't know why I keep thinking of Fort Knox, but there were like all these forts, and Battle of Antietam. Antietam was the bloodiest battle, I think, in Civil War. um, Antietam, and there was another one. There's another bloody battle, the Fort. Why do we keep mentioning Fort? Antietam, the bloodiest battle, and what other battles were there? Battle of Creek, something, I don't know. And the Thanksgiving. Well, that was before, but so now we're into Civil War. And the Gettysburg Address was held fourscore years ago. Okay, and then yeah, I have to do one of those every 13 minutes. I don't know why. My doctor told me to. I'm just sharing with you. I'm just fucking playing. Okay, anyways, so we got your Civil War, and that was what, 1876, or circa 1876. I mean, about 100 years. I mean, yeah, well, say 65. I think 1865. I think that was the end or beginning. I know 65 is one of those dates you have to remember. And okay, so somehow, so you got your battles and everything, and then the Confederates, the Union Confederates, and that's when I think John Brown was became. I don't know why I keep mentioning John Brown. So for some reason, well, I think it's just weird characters from history that stands out, because he used to carry Bible with one hand and a shotgun with another, and he used to gun down people for the abolitionist. So there was during abolitionist, like, but anyways, he justified like freeing slavery with, what is abolitionist, like abolition, abolish. Okay, first try to say abolish, Zishan. abolish, abolition, abolitionist. It's like I can say the longest word in literature, like Lopardo Temako Selako Lopardo Temaka Selako Gali Crani Lepsana Dream Hypotemata Silvio Paramedical Kakamiko Kiklipic of his offerto pedestrian director optic of the like something. It's been rusty. So it's the longest word in literature. And from Greek, Aristophanes' frog, the dish that was served. Yeah, I have a video somewhere in YouTube, but the point being, yeah, like if you don't practice, if you don't myeliniate, you'll not really the words that you don't pronounce often. You don't. So abolitionist. I mean, we don't go about the daily life in McDonald's ordering food, talking about your abolitionist history and whatnot. So, having said that, so we got that, and the women's suffragette movement didn't come later on, and the slavery abolished 13th Amendment, I think, and and yeah, and even abolishing alcohol, the bootleg movement, but that didn't come later on, after Roaring 20s. But even before that, during McKinley era, yeah, the way I said McKinley era, as if I'm an expert on McKinley era. No, anyways, so we got and surrendered. Was it where did Lee, Robert Sherman, and then Stonewall Jackson, those guys. So Stonewall Jackson, I mean Lee surrendered. Appomattox. There was actually, I think it was Encyclopedia Americana, or even there was a U.S. History Encyclopedia in library in Westminster, library here in California, like Orange County, Garden Grove, Westminster area. And what is the point of fucking libraries if you donate all your dictionaries? Like near my home, there was Cypress Library. They used to have the Encyclopedia of Philosophy, and they just donated or probably sold it to some guy. So what's the point of fucking going to the libraries if you can't even get your reference, your encyclopedias? I mean, I also think geek and nerd is a pejorative term. I mean, so just because you're passionate about something, you're a geek. I mean, fuck you. I mean, people are weird, dude. People like to people use everything, and here I'm going off tangent on a rant. People use everything like, oh, people, how before, during growing up with computers, we used to get make fun of, and now everyone has a fucking computer, so everyone has a tech head now, and like anything, it's like whatever like stuff, whatever like serves your purpose. Like people lame best introverts and whatnot, whatever people who stays home, as if it's this fucking America. We do too much, all this stereotyping and labeling and pigeonholing and fitting people into boxes and whatnot, as if people are like fucking this weird the gawky and this gaucheries of people who like stay at home, like fuck. And then, oh, we must be meditate, we must be mindful, we must stay at home and fucking, and you get all these fucking thuggy looking fucking meatheads and whatnot talking about meditation and mindfulness and making all these cheesy sleazy fucking videos with all this weird fake thumbnails. Okay, I think that's enough ranting for the day, Zishan. So going back to fucking, yeah, it's like whatever serves you. It's like, yeah, if it serves you, if computer serves you, like, yeah, I mean, if fucking staying at home serves you, like, yeah, suddenly you're mindful. If you want to go against it, oh, I'm an extrovert, I'm an adventurous, I'm going hiking, and fuck you, fucking hypocrite. I don't know why I'm ranting. This is like my therapy right now. It's like my fucking 20 minutes of therapy. So after Appomattox surrendered, Lee surrendered, and then the Confederates lost, and the Union won, and you got your Union Jack flag. Was it the Union Jack flag? Well, the Confederate flag was the Union Jack flag. Anyways, so after that happened, Lee, who was the Union Grant, right? Grant. Is Ulysses S. Grant the president? And then he became the president after a civil war, I think. Or Lincoln. Whatever. How long did the Civil War last? 5 years, 4 years? 4 years, I think. 1861 to 1865, I think. So anyway, and then you got your expansion and whatnot, Oregon Trail, and fucking Mason Dixon line, and fucking 33 degrees of parallel, whatever that is. And the Pioneer Gold Rush, yeah, 69ers, no, 49ers, 70, San Francisco, 49ers, Oilers. So you got your dad. 69, was it 49ers? Yeah, 49ers, I think, yeah. What year is it? 69ers. Anyways, 49ers. So 1849, gold rush, California gold rush. And you get your, expansion, and then suddenly the states started growing like mushrooms, and even expanding to, I guess, you get your Monroe Doctrine and Manifest Destiny, and the turn of the century, 1901. Who was the president? Hoover or Coolidge? Chester Arthur, whoever. So you got that, and suddenly, oh, you got your Mexican American War. That's even, and then the buying of Russia, Louisiana Purchase, Jefferson. Well, Jefferson was before Louisiana Purchase. Did Louisiana Purchase happen during Jefferson or no? And the Alaska Purchase from the Russians, I think. Was it Russia was still like balling back then? So you got that. You got that, and then 1914, and World War One started, and and you got your FDR Roosevelt era. You got your Wilson's 14 points, and I think Wilson was FDR the only person from Harvard who was the president. No, was it Harvard or PhD? I think I know one president. It was probably FDR or who became president. And I think yeah, your presidential trivia, like some 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 president have. I think there was one with Well, Obama, there was a gratuitous Nobel Prize, I guess. And Trump will get another gratuitous Nobel Prize. I mean, yeah. So I guess the facts, people, whoever finds vaccine for COVID-19 will obviously, but that's not irrelevant. That's completely moot. I mean, this whole Nobel Prize shit. It's another validation from another institution. So we got your World War One started, and McKinley. When was Rushmore built? Mount Rushmore, because, and I only talked about world history, so I don't wanna so I don't delve much into those conflicts of world world events. So going back to the history, even before then, what other things during the Roaring Twenties? What else was happening? New York, Philadelphia, and you got your Liberty Bell and whatnot. Benjamin Franklin, I did mention him, and this going way back. I mean, before the turn of the century, Benjamin Franklin, and Versailles. He went to did he go to Versailles? Because I know some Jefferson or some who went to Versailles. Benjamin Franklin, I guess, came up with data savings time, and almanac, poor Richard's almanac, penny earned, penny saved, and fucking um what else? Yeah, he came with that, and eagle. I think eagle was the mascot for American. Turkey. I don't know if if it's another one of those old wives' tale like turkey was, and you got your turkey was the emblem, the initial emblem, and you got your Betsy Ross suing the flag again. I don't know the truth, the how much truth there is, and you got your Francis Scott Key, who was Francis Scott, and you got your Dred Scott. Oh, during slavery, the whole amendment, Dred Scott and everything. Um, Dred Scott and a free, I mean, Dred Scott, and then Montgomery. Well, obviously, not apart. Yeah, there was literally an apartheid. I mean, basically here, and that was later on, 1968, and the Montgomery, revolution, Rosa Parks, and all that. And before that, well, there was World War, 1945, end of World War. There was depression. The depression happened right after First World War, right? Not after Second World War. That's interesting. I think so. So you got your 1920s, Roaring Twenties, and 1930s, 40s, 50s. I guess the Jazz Age and everything. Um, I think that was a pretty much a crash spit on U.S. history timeline. Just smorgasbord, the smattering of this whatever, this Turkish delight, sort of giving off the samples and taste of what American history was the history of American. Oh shit! I'm still slurring. I'm barely woke up. I mean, actually, I woke up at 4:30. It's 5:14 a.m. right now. Um, what else? American history. I mean, I think I'll make it real short today. You know, yeah. Then no use rambling. I mean, and you got your Whig Party and whatnot, and they're heavily influenced with the Enlightenment era, Montesquieu, and the Constitution was made. I mean, those hoes. equality, fraternity, liberty of the French Revolution, post-French Revolution, those Rousseau, Voltaire, and the Enlightenment era philosophers. I mean, Montaigne and whatnot. They heavily influenced our Constitution. So, and that's the bedrock of American foundation, like America basically, the Constitution, you know, and so and they were motivated by Enlightenment philosophers. Not much as those British philosophers. Again, who was the biggest back then? Was Mill 1800 people, or Mill came later on? I don't know. John Stuart Mill, the utilitarian philosopher, and Mill influenced Bertrand Russell, and Mill was probably further, I mean, in turn influenced by Bentham. So Jeremy Bentham again, another utilitarian concept that, and we got our bills and whatnot, the ratifications, amendments, the way bill is passed, and what are the major events? Oh well, the Roe versus Wade, that is also, and the Miranda rights. Yeah, now all my civics class is coming back to me. Miranda rights and yeah. Yeah, and that kid, that little black kid, who was Brown versus Board of Education. There you go. Fuck yeah, balling in this bitch, Zisha. Fucking coming my busting my cum all over this fucking US history shit. Anyway, when it was flag, the real flag as we know it was basically, so was it 7076? How many iterations or variations of flag are there? There was a circular one. I mean, the with circle. There was the 13 stages, I think. That was how long? The American history is extremely fascinating. There was this guy near me, and if you were in this Buena Park area near Northbury Farm, there is this Liberty Hall thingy, Philadelphia Liberty Hall replica, and I went there, and there's this guy with encyclopedic knowledge, American history. I mean, he literally, he's a buff. He's like, he knows like all those stupid nuances, like freaking which pen was used, and freaking whose name appears and whose name doesn't appear in the whole Declaration of Independence, and some guy like weird like variations, like freaking. I mean, I can't even like recall any of the tidbits you mentioned, but there's some like how the where it was signed in the hall, the Declaration of Independence was signed. Even the replica that they created in the Liberty in the hall that we have here in Buena Park, even that is not to scale. Like he's brilliant. Just go ahead. I hope he's still he's still Boston over there right now. I mean, he's a cool guy. I don't know his name, but Google. I mean, just go to Yelp and Buena Park, Northbury Farm, the Liberty Building or whatever you call that. Philadelphia is replica Philadelphia's. So you got. I actually went to Philadelphia. I mean, but I was a little, around the time I went to those Amish people and whatnot. I barely recall any of those things. I remember going to those Philadelphia, those Liberty Tower, like tower and whatnot, the bell, but barely remember anything. Obelisk. Obelisk. When was the big creation of Obelisk in Washington D.C. and has immortalized by I guess Martin Luther King's speech. The whole one. What is the largest gathering that ever took place? Well, probably in Thailand or meditation or something. China mass meditation or Thailand mass meditation. Probably that's the largest gathering, like 2 million people. And I'm sure. I'm not sure about Martin Luther King's one. I'm sure it's one of the largest gathering too. So we got that, and Roe versus Wade, Brown versus Board of Education. What are the other defining constitutional cases? I think I don't know. I don't know. Cause gun rights. I mean, I don't think there were any big cases regarding gun rights. It's just the humans and everything. You had to protect yourself against, and that was big back then. I get it. We get it. You fucking dumb nuts. I mean, yeah, dumb fucks from the right. We get it. Like it was big back then. We had the need to protect ourselves. And again, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I really don't care about. I'm not for or against gun gun banning or anything. But that's a big. I mean, it's what Fourth Amendment, Second Amendment, right? Wow. So First Amendment, a second, third. What is the Third Amendment? Right to be secure in your. No, Fourth Amendment is right to be secure in your homes against search and seizure. Third and quarter troops and all that. Third Amendment, I don't know. What is Third Amendment? Third Amendment is like right of the press, like freedom of press, I think, and freedom of speech is obviously the first. But that kind of goes hand in hand with Third Amendment, right? The freedom of the press. I don't even know what Third Amendment is. Fifth Amendment, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, 13th, I know it's about slavery, and then those 22, 28, and women's right. I don't know. Was there an amendment for women's right? Who knows? So who are some of the, and there was Harriet Tubman. That's a good movie. Well, I started watching it. I don't know why I didn't finish watching it. I don't know, but that's a good movie. Maybe I should watch that today. Yeah, I'm done. I'm outie. I'm autumn hour. What did you say autumn hour? Audi and autumn hour has nothing to do with. Why did I say autumn hour? Maybe I should get a fucking autumn hour better hook me up or something just for giving them a shout out. Anyways, Elvis has left the building. Mic drop. Fucking Connor. No, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I always do that. Anyway, have a good day.